we do have year-round horse taxis. So actually, if you're like, I wanna live year-round in Mackinac Island, well, here's a year-round job for you. Carriage tours. If you go to carriage tours, I don't know if it's .com, it might be .com, and you can inquire about employment. This is a year-round job if you want to be a taxi driver. So if you are on Mackinac Island and you want a taxi, you cannot just stand at the road and like flag down a taxi like you can with a car. You do have to call ahead of time. There will be taxis usually waiting outside every ferry. That is kind of a given, asking people if they need rides anywhere. Hotels will also have, some hotels have their own shuttles, but a taxi is usually there. Other than that, you need to call and arrange a taxi, telling them where you are, where you want to go, what time, and they manage all that logistics. And then if there's anything after their hours, you have to call and set that up ahead of time. You can't just call at like 8 o'clock at night right now and expect to get a taxi. That's not going to happen, but you can set it up like, hey, I'm going to be leaving the bar at 10 p.m. Can I have a taxi? And they will have that for you. It's, I think most of the time, $10 one way per person for a taxi ride, cash only. So if you come to Mackinac Island, you are going to want to make sure that you have cash on you. We do have ATMs that you can get cash. A lot of our interactions with like tipping and taxis are going to be cash only, and you definitely want to tip people like your tour guides, which is going to be cash only, and your dock porter. If anybody is taking your luggage anywhere for you, dock porters are pretty amazing and like talented because they just stack luggage on their bikes and bike. Anyways, tip them in cash. Cash is a very coveted thing here on the island, which is probably most places. But yes, also of note, you are going to want to dress warm, especially during the cold months. Wear layers. A taxi is going to go slower because we never run our horses. Our horses walk and there are hills, so it's gonna go slower than if you were to just ride a bike, which means like right now you're just sitting on a carriage. You might have a blanket on your lap. They do provide a blanket, but you're not moving. It might be windy. Mackinac Island is very windy, so anticipate wind. Dress in layers so that you can be warm. So cash, dress in layers. Prepare for it to take longer than if you were to ride your bike. It's a great service. It is very important to how we function as a city. So we do have them. Call to set it up. There's a number. I think if you just Google like Mackinac Island taxis, it's the company that runs the taxis is Carriage Tours. So you could just Google Carriage Tours as well on Mackinac Island, but there's a taxi number. MackinacIsland.org also has a bunch of information about just things tourists need to know, and there's a whole slot on like a link on winter information. But yes, if you want a year-round job that includes housing, you can be a taxi driver.